A teacher from RHS has a passion for writing, with 3 books that are already published and aspirations to write more. Here's a story of an author at RHS in her own words.
I started writing when I was a little girl. I used to use index cards and write little stories on them, staple them together, illustrate them, all of that. And just loved writing. And so then when I was in high school, I had a teacher, Mr. Burke, who said, hey, let's write a short story. So I went home and I wrote 7 pages single-spaced in that night. And I went back to school the next day and he said, yeah, this wasn't due for 2 more weeks. Thanks, Hanley. So then in college, I started taking a lot of English classes and decided that I wanted to major in English and started leaning towards all of the writing classes. And I just loved the process. It was energizing. It was like lighting a fire inside of me saying, oh my gosh, you can do this thing, that's amazing. And so I just started writing stories, and it really helped me grow into an adult because it allowed me to process through challenging times, through relationship issues, friend issues, family issues, and I could put it on paper and turn it into anything I wanted it to be. If something was going poorly in real life, I could turn it around and make it into flowers in a fantasy life. So it was neat. It was a neat process. Author, I think it was like 8 years ago in Arizona, his name was David. Anyway, he was the author of The Telling Pool, and he did a book talk for my school, and afterwards I went up to him and I said, oh, hi, I've always wanted to write a book. And he said, well, there's 2 different types of authors. There's the authors that talk about it, or writers who talk about it, and writers who actually do it. And for me, it struck a chord because I had talked about it and thought, well, I should probably do it now. Because you can only talk about something for so long until it just doesn't exist. And so I went home and I wrote a book. Not in one night, it took some time, but I did. I wrote a book and it was garbage and I threw it away. And then a couple years later, I wrote another book, and that one I really loved. All of my books are on Amazon, or 3 of my books are on Amazon. I would love to be in Barnes & Noble or Target or any of the booksellers or the brick and mortars, but it is a long process and it is extremely challenging. I just like writing. I want to have my words out there, but I'm not in it to be rich and famous.
Her books are available on Amazon, starting for about $1.